The Laughing Cavalier here, presenting to you another tale of these troubled times, with many angry notes this time. So, literally, as I was editing the last video about the White Queen, somebody, I get the name off the top of my head, I'll put up on screen, they sent me a message on Twitter telling me about this article from EW, or EU, as I will call them, about the Spanish princess, confirming our worst fears. Certainly mine. So there's not been too much news really since they finished filming back in March, I think it was. There are a few pictures floating around which I probably won't show for copyright because, again, I've been copyright claimed for showing 2 screenshots in the past, so thank you for that. But here we have some definite confirmation about the series. And it is entitled "Get an Exclusive First Look at the Spanish Princess Season 2" by Maureen Lee Lenker. God save the Queen. Those are the words Catherine of Aragon spent an entire season of The Spanish Princess waiting to hear, whilst also telling one enormous lie. I'd say many lies the show told, to be honest with you. Now, in this exclusive first look at the second season of Star's Tudor drama, Catherine has got her wish. In the teaser trailer above and the photos below, she and Henry VIII have been crowned King and Queen of England. Yeah, so now obviously it's not a full trailer, and I'm poised ready for when the proper trailer comes out, which I suspect will be within a month or two. Basically, all it is in the minute is just a few shots of them getting crowned, and there was one back in December where it's like her getting into her armour and stuff like that. But we'll see further along in this article as we proceed. As season 2 opens, Catherine seemingly has everything she wants: a kingdom, a crown, and the affection of the man she loves. Of course, we all know where her story ends. Divorce from Henry after 22 years of marriage. Now, this made me think, it was like, okay, hang on. 1509 to 1533 is 24, isn't it? That's why maths is a bit wrong there. I guess they're going from 1530 to 1531, which is when she was, I think, basically, well, I say in prison, but you don't want, put in a house arrest effectively. 22 is very specific, and I'd say a bit ambiguous. I'd probably would have said after over 20 years of marriage, but splitting hairs. And with her beloved Catholic Church overthrown, all for a woman named Anne Boleyn. But there's still years of storytelling between Catherine's coronation and the demise of her marriage. Years that see her have a daughter with Henry, suffering from numerous miscarriages and going to war. And above all, trying to maintain the lie that she was still a virgin when she married Henry. Again, I know there is a bit of debate over this. I will still maintain I think she was a virgin when she married Henry. I'll probably have to do a bit more about that in the when I do the round of the evidence for that. But it's what I can see. The fact that she was so adamant that she was a virgin when she came to Henry. In a highly religious time, I'm not really seeing her doing this. But we'll explore that when we come to it. All of which helps make up the storytelling of the highly anticipated by about 12 people second season of The Spanish Princess, which will return in the fall, or autumn to people, so we got confirmation it's in the autumn. I think I originally predicted August, I think I said, in Tudor 3, so I weren't too far off. To get some intel on what lies ahead, we call up showrunners Emma Frost and Matthew Graham. I know this is a thing they use in America, showrunner, but it sounds so pretentious to me, like they're writers and producers, I guess, but it's like showrunner. It just sounds like something like, "Oh, hello, I'm a showrunner. Do you want to see the show I run?" Woo. Anyway, again, I'm just splitting hairs at this point. So, Entertainment Weekly. As this teaser and these photos show us, Catherine is queen now. It's all she ever wanted. But what does that actually mean for her? It is what she hoped for? ? Our old friend Emma Frost. At the start, it is everything Catherine hoped for. She has everything. She's the Queen of England. She's jointly queen with Henry, the first time that had ever happened. Okay, there's a few problems with that. Number one, to be a queen, you have to be female, and Henry's male, so I don't think he can be joint queen with Catherine when he's a man. Secondly, are you suggesting they're joint monarchs? Well, no, actually, it does say here. She doesn't say they were crowned together. Everyone saw them as joint regents, a woman and a man who are equals, who are reigning together. Did they? She was regent when he went to France on campaign, but when he's in the kingdom, he's the king. She's the consort. I'm sorry, that's how it worked in those days, I'm afraid. The only times you really get close to joint monarchs ruling, technically Philip of Spain was king of England when he was married to Mary, but he had a fair bit of influence over her, but because of that, everyone wanted to curtail his influence as much as they could, and he was never in England anyway. He spent, few weeks at most, I think. And really, the only other time would be Mary II and William of Orange. So, no, they're not joint monarchs reigning together in that context. She has Henry, who she loves, and they're riding high. They're like rock stars. They're the centre of the universe. The court has everything. La, 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 la. The whole story is based around the lie again. Sorry, I'm skimming through a lot of this. I'm a bit defeated at this point. Last season was really her and Henry's love story. And they were married for 22... well, depending how you view it. How quickly can we expect things to go south? Matthew Graham. The pressures of the king and queen are to provide heirs. That's the focus of their pressure and the focus of their reign, as well as making war. She's a great tactician, and her knowledge really helped England. A lot of it is initially political pressure mixed with being at court. But over the course of time, things go awry in all sorts of ways, both politically and personally. Catherine's ability to manage the kingdom and to manage her husband becomes the crux of the juggling act she's pulled for the whole marriage and the whole season 2. It's about Catherine the Queen fighting a random attempt to understand Kate and please Henry. Let's get through this quick. Also, to literally sit in the throne in his absence. So, yes, okay, she did rule as regent. There are moments when he's out of the country. She is regent. And it's chronicled that she went to war against the Scots in his absence and heavily pregnant. Again, I know what they're saying, but they're wording that a bit bad. They're saying, like, she went to war against the Scots. Like, no, the Scots went to war against England. Because Henry was in France fighting his campaign. I really need to finish that series, because this will be perfect for when we do the... This will probably be tuned around 5, I'm guessing, whenever the second season of The Spanish Princess comes out, but that'll be really good to refer back to. But no, the Scots invaded because he was off in France, so it's this... But, that's going to be one of the most exciting and iconic bits of the season 2 for us, is Catherine pregnant and in armour. And historically she was nowhere near Flodden. She was somewhere, I think, I've got to say Northampton, maybe further south than that. I'll put up on screen where she was, but yeah, she was, A for effort, but she wasn't in battle. She was there with the reserves. And even then, as far as I'm aware, King James IV, he was retreating back to Scotland anyway when the Flodden happened. He just thought, well, I've done my job, and to be fair, it's not like EU4 where you can send your army to the furthest end of the country and they just siege it down. There's a thing called logistics. You can only go so far. Again, I'm going to be skipping quite a bit of this because this is just... Oh, you said we'll see more of Lena and Oviedo. Can you tease what's in store for them? Lena and Catherine's relationship will come under pressure, in the way that modern women's relationships do sometimes when one person has something that the other person desperately wants. Again, with the modern relationships, that's a... I hate this. It's a good time, I think, to mention there's another article that's pissing me off. God, I'm like Professor Farnsworth in the Anger Dome, and there's some comedy thing about Catherine the Great coming up soon or something, and I read the article the other day, and I wasn't too bothered about it really. I thought, it's a comedy, I'll let it slide. But then there was some stupid article in the New York Times that just infuriated me, just the way he was saying, like, basically they write the script first, then they looked at the history and said, we don't care about that. It's like, it's like they're writing things just to annoy me deliberately now. Oviedo will rise in the court. He will be noticed by Henry, and his status improves and increases. He becomes part of Henry's inner circle for a while. I have no words for that. No, he didn't. Henry VIII is one of the most absolutist kings of England. I don't think he's going to have a guy who was a crossbow maker. He's like, you know what, you'd be good on the Privy Council. Do you want to be Chancellor of the Exchequer? That'd be a good idea. Meanwhile, they get Barry the peasant in. He's like, you can manage agriculture. It's like, oh, thank you, my lord. Yeah, we're equal opportunity employees here in Tudor England. Graham, we're following Lena and Oviedo into the life they're making for themselves in London, raising a family. It gives us a chance to explore the pressures that they face at key moments. They gave us an opportunity to write interesting parallels about immigration and Brexit. Oh god, we're going to get a scene of Flodden, aren't we? It was like Nicola Sturgeon is going to be leading the vanguard of the Scots army. Just oh god, they are going to butcher the Battle of Flodden. I'm predicting it now. Like they're going to have Surrey going to be hate Catherine or something, and then she's going to be like, "No, General, you should do this. It will be an amazing plan." And they're like, that would be terrible to do that, milady. And then she'll win the battle like, I was so wrong about you, Catherine. I don't know why I'm talking like this. I've got a bit of a sore throat, I guess. Anyway, speaking of Scotland, you also said before Meg would return this season. What kind of role will she and Scotland at large going to play in the season? She's a really big player in this one. Meg went off in tears to Scotland. She met this strapping hunk of Scott. Well, just like a lump of what's left. Well, that'll be what's left of James IV after Flodden, I guess. But they get on. We do get to see that. Even though I'm sure there was another article I reviewed where they said he was boorish and she was fed up or something. But anyway. And we get to see a war between Scotland and England where Meg is begging Catherine not to go to war. How's she going to meet her, though, if she's in Scotland? Oh, God, they're going to have a meeting, aren't they? Like in a tent before the battle. I'm seeing it now. Meg caught in the middle of that. She loves Catherine, but she loves James. Will we see any of Maggie Pole? She's absolutely in the show, and she finds a little romance in an unlikely quarter. Probably with Barry the Peasant from the King's Council. So, her two oldest children are now grown up, and she's struggling with her children wanting to be different to their parents and variously judging them or rejecting their values. Oh God, no, those damn kids these days are going to be. We're going to have a scene, aren't we? Which is going to be. They're going to get Margaret Pole's children are going to call her a boomer or something. Oh God, Maggie will definitely struggle with that in her relationship with her daughter, particularly. Journey for Maggie is one of those exciting aspects. Emma and I rewatched The Remains of the Day. I don't know what that's got to do with Tudor England. So lots of British repression. British repression? Nobody does repression like us Brits. Britain don't exist, does it? Well, as a geographical entity, yes, but I mean, I'm actually getting a headache reading this. I've got Sir Thomas More. He's gonna get butchered. I know that. And not exactly a new character is Princess Mary, Henry's sister, who was the little girl at the end of season 1. She kind of becomes a cause for her brother at the beginning of the show. So yeah, I think that was one of my predictions, that they'll literally just have her in the first episode of season 2. It's like, yep, she's going to be 30 years old when she was like 11 the previous episode. Mary's the most wonderful, la 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 la. You really feel a sense of the new generation. Star Trek, oh God. Different value systems of their parents, yeah. Or it seems like there's no set pieces. We have a joust, which we've never done in the show before. Get the breastplate stretcher then. The Battle of Flodden, which he's already talked about. With Catherine right up to battle to... again, we're getting confirmed here. She's going to be fighting on the front line, apparently. With Catherine riding out to battle to lead the men in full armour while she's heavily pregnant. The Field of the Cloth of Gold is a big event that happens. So that's actually interesting, because we've not really had that portrayed on film too much. I think the Tudors, ironically enough, are the only other ones who really show it. Maybe I'm not sure about. There's that Spanish. No, I wouldn't have it though because it's in Spain, which actually leads me on to the next sentence where they say Henry went to Calais and met the French and Spanish. It's like, did he? I thought that was he met the King of France. I don't think Spain was involved at all in the Field of the Cloth of Gold. I thought the whole point of it was Wolsey was trying to get England to become friendly with France after all the events of the 1510s, and that was a way to make peace and become the great peacemaker. So. La 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 la. The heart of the show is the emotional blah 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 la 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 la. I'm fed up with this. Da 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 da. I'm going insane. I'm going to be in the straitjacket at the time I do this. Oh, hello. Has the event pandemic delayed anything in the process for you? Our post-production has not been delayed. Damn it. We actually wrapped filming 2 days before global production shut down. Right, we know why that it's a hit us then, the event. It's God's judgment, I think. Last day of film is a freezing cold day, very big emotional thing. We were never. All our editors are cutting it at home. Please burn it. That would help me. All of the effects people working at home. Our orchestra are recording their instrumentation basically individually. Oh Christ, that's going to be not that I know, because I swear to God, like the soundtrack between all 3 seasons that sounds exactly the same. Unless that's just that requires me to watch them all again, which I'm not going to do. So it just depresses me. It's like you get all the great anime shows are all delayed, all the ones I was looking forward to, and this is going ahead. Damn it. Oh. So I'm sorry I've skinned through a lot of this and I sound like a raving lunatic. But I thought I'd better mention it. So yes, now we wait for the trailer, and I will do a full review of it, so long as I don't get manually copyright claimed again for meme videos. Anyway, this has been The Laughing Cavalier, wishing you a good day.